There's a moment when you notice something has shifted, your phone buzzes, and for the first time in a long while, you feel nothing, not boredom, not rejection, just weight. You look at the name on the screen, someone you love, and you let it ring. Then you ask yourself the question you've been dreading for weeks. Am I becoming someone cold? Stay with me, because the answer isn't the one you're bracing for. And once you see it, you'll never read that silence the same way again. You think back over the last few weeks, the invitations you keep pushing off without really knowing why, the messages you read, then set aside, telling yourself later, already knowing later will mean tomorrow, or the day after, or maybe never at all, and that quiet voice whispering that this isn't temporary anymore, that it's becoming you, and somewhere underneath it, a thought you never quite finish, something about giving more than you've been given. But before you believe that voice, you need to look more closely at what's actually happening inside you, because there's a massive difference between someone drifting away from people and someone whose energy has simply run out. A difference almost no one ever explains to you, and it changes everything. Think back to the last time you cancelled a plan you had proposed yourself, just days earlier. In the moment, you genuinely wanted to go. Then the day arrived, and there was nothing left to carry it. The desire hadn't disappeared, only the reserve behind it had run dry. And if it isn't a lack of wanting, why does the guilt stick around afterward, like a stain you can't quite wash out? That feeling of having let someone down, when really, all you did was protect whatever you had left. You didn't fail anyone, you just ran out. Then there are the messages, the ones you read in a second and only answer hours later. Not because the person doesn't matter, but because even a 10-word sentence asks, somewhere, for a kind of attention you don't have to give right away. That's not nothing. Answering, truly answering, is never just typing words. It's making yourself emotionally available for someone else. And on certain days, that availability simply isn't there, no matter how hard you try to summon it. So you start to prefer silence. What are you really avoiding? The people or everything? Silence doesn't ask of you, because in silence, there's nothing to give, nothing to explain, nothing to carry. And for the first time in a long while, you breathe. That need isn't an escape. It's your nervous system asking for a pause, exactly like a muscle that's been worked too hard without time to recover. The problem is, no one ever sees that particular muscle get tired. And then there are the small things that suddenly irritate you without warning. A notification, background noise, an ordinary conversation that never used to bother you before. Call it a threshold that's quietly dropped, worn down by whatever used to keep it high. And from there, a harder question starts to surface. Is it normal to want to say no this often to people you never wanted to disappoint before? You feel guilty every time, as if saying no were a betrayal. But there's a confusion here that almost no one names out loud. Taking care of yourself was never the same as abandoning others. Two different things your mind has slowly blurred together out of sheer exhaustion. And if it isn't rejection, then what's really happening with the people you love the most, the ones you avoid precisely because they matter too much to hand them whatever little you have left? So has the love actually faded, or just your capacity to show it right now? The truth is, you still care about them just as much as before, maybe even more. The attachment hasn't moved an inch. only the capacity has collapsed. Two things you've always been taught were the same. They never were. So why, even after a full night's sleep, does the tiredness stay exactly where you left it, untouched, as if nothing had reached it at all? Because sleep repairs the body, not the mind. And what you've been carrying for weeks isn't physical fatigue. It's something deeper, the kind that never resolves itself just by closing your eyes for a few hours. So what's actually causing this tiredness that never lifts, no matter how much you rest, no matter how much you withdraw? Here's the part almost nobody tells you. This was never a personality trait quietly settling into who you are. It was never you changing. Remember that thought you couldn't quite finish back at the start? Here it is, plain. It's an imbalance, simple and quiet, between everything you give emotionally to others and what you actually get back. And unlike an identity, an imbalance can be repaired. You are not becoming someone cold. You are simply someone who has given more than they received for too long, without ever pausing to recharge whatever let you keep loving others, without losing yourself in the process. And the next time your phone buzzes and you feel that same weight rise in your chest, you'll know it isn't a sign that you're drifting from the people you love. It's a sign that, for a moment, you have every right to drift from everything else. If some part of this felt like it was written about you, say so in the comments. Someone else, scrolling past tonight, needs to know they are not the only one carrying this.